All right, welcome back to the Mechanical Art Gallery. Today I got something I want to discuss with you, authenticity. This here is a Rolex Datejust, and I got this in on trade from a guy. It was part of a 6 watch for 1 watch trade. I love doing those ones, where I traded him a Patek Philippe, and he traded me an AP Offshore, this Datejust, a Vacheron, and something else. A couple other ones. I don't even remember now. But there was something that I noticed when I was inspecting the watches for our trade that I brought up with him immediately, and we discussed it a little bit further. And that was, while I inspected the watch, the dial looked good, the internals looked good, the movement, the bezel, the case all looked good. I was concerned about the bracelet. I'll show you a couple of tells that I found on the bracelet that made me think it was not authentic, and then I'll show you what a real bracelet should look like as well. So like I said, me and him discussed it, and I told him that I had doubts about this bracelet, and he's like, well, I guess that kind of makes sense. I got it from this pawn shop, and I was like, okay, all right, I get it now. So let's dive right into this watch right here, and I'll show you some of the things that stuck out to me as odd. So the first thing I noticed with this watch, like I said, it wasn't anything to do with the dial or crown movement, anything like that. It was the bracelet, and it was this crown right on the back side. Now, on its own, sure, you could say, hey, that looks like a Rolex crown, whatever. But when you've seen a few of these, you tend to notice a couple of things. And one thing I noticed was that this circle at the bottom of the crown looked a little bit too round. And those spires, the points on the crown, looked a little bit too symmetrical to me. Something didn't look right about it. So, and when you hold up the authentic one that I got to replace it, you'll notice, you see that bottom circle, how it's a little bit flatter on the genuine one? That's something that a lot of fake parts have, is this crown is just not the right shape. And you see on the top, the balls on the top of those spires, they look a little bit more round, like they're like balls placed on top of those points instead of this one where it just kind of blends into the same shape. And another thing I noticed pretty quickly when you open this up, this blade, these clasp blades, if you look at that crown where it says Rolex and there's a crown on top, kind of looks like a triangle. It just does not look like the correct shape of a crown. That engraving over there looks a little bit off too. So let me show you this one here. Oops. You can see there, the crown, this is dirty as heck and it needs to be cleaned, but see, it's a very different shape. Let's see if I can hold them side by side here. I should probably take this one off the... Well, while I'm taking this bracelet off the watch, I'll show you another thing that I noticed. You see on this case, it has holes on the side of it. That's where you can push your spring bar tool to take the spring bar out. Now, on those watches with the holes case, the end links, that's this part right here, doesn't have cutouts there. These cutouts are so you can access the spring bar by a little lever in there and just pull them out. So that is kind of a redundant design if you would have this cutout here and this hole in the case to push the spring bar out. Again, let me show you here. Here's a real end link, and you'll notice those cutouts aren't there because you access the spring bar from the side of the case. So there you go. This watch is now complete with a correct, authentic Rolex Datejust Jubilee bracelet, which means we can take this fake one and get rid of it. And that is exactly what you should do with fake parts. They have no business in the watch industry. There's plenty of real parts out there. There's no need to start getting into fake stuff. So when you're looking at watches to buy, make sure you know who you're buying from. Make sure that they know what they have. Make sure you know what you're buying. And if you don't know, ask somebody. All you have to do is take a picture, send a text message to somebody you know in the watch world, in the watch industry, and say, hey, does this look right to you? Does something look off about this? Most watch dealers, most watch fanatics and enthusiasts are happy to help with that kind of thing. So we'll get into authenticating some more pieces of this, like the dial, the movement, the case, etc., in the next video. Till then, see ya.